going on, everybody? It's me, Eman, and today we're going to review Kingsman: The Golden Circle. Alright, let's do a quick intro. With the Kingsman's headquarters destroyed, they must turn to their US counterpart organization, the Statesman, to take down a new evil threat. Okay, enough of that, let's get right into the good.
The good.
I absolutely love the fact that within the opening scenes, you're immediately initiated into the high octane intensity that this entire movie is going to deliver. There's so many scenes in this movie that tries to be as epic as they can be. The car chase scene in this movie is simply bananas, but a lot of that credit has to go straight to the director. Director Matthew Vaughn did a really nice job of putting together some really fancy camera work. There are a number of crazy slow motion shots that are mixed with really fast-paced action as well. Many of the fight scenes in this movie are very fun and visually appealing to watch. One highlight of the camera work that I really appreciated was how the director was able to hide a lot of the cutscenes within the actual fast and slow motion shots. This gave the illusion that some of the action stunts were all shot in one big long take when they really weren't. Now, if we move on and talk about the story, I just love the way that the story blended in and connected with the previous film. There are a lot of callbacks and references that are going to catch you up to speed from the previous movie. One change-up that this movie does is that it includes a lot more humor this time around. You'll probably notice that when you see the surprise guest celebrity that has a number of funny bits throughout the film. Another accomplishment that I'll say that this movie had was basically raising the stakes to push the story forward. I mean, the plot certainly takes a lot of risk with certain characters. I mean, there were a couple dramatic moments that might just hit you right in the feels. I thought that Julianne Moore was entertaining with her villainous role. It was very unconventional and never lacked an opportunity to be as evil as possible. Now, staying consistent with the tone that the first movie set, I really like how they created yet another unique villainous henchman. It's kind of like how James Bond always had to fight like the henchman that had some really crazy thing about them. Well, the same thing happened here. I mean, the only thing I could think of the entire time was this is Winter Soldier 2.0. Now, out of all the characters, I think the one character that stood out the most to me was probably Pedro Pascal. He was absolutely one of my favorite characters in the movie, and Pascal continued to deliver yet another solid performance. Really loved that lasso work too. Okay, enough of that, let's get on to the bad.
The bad.
I hate it when I have to bring this up, but the marketing for this film failed it in a number of ways. The first way that the marketing failed was that it wasn't shy about teasing the return of a very prominent character. I mean, this character's in all the trailers, and they're even in all the movie posters. The problem here is that in Golden Circle, this character's return is made out to be like a really big surprise. But of course, if you've already seen it in all the advertising they did for this movie, it obviously robs the movie of the surprise element that it was clearly trying to bring forth. The second way the marketing of this film failed was showing Channing Tatum. Honestly, throughout the entire film, I just kept asking myself, why is Channing here? It seems like he was just a prop in the film just to have really cool shots for the trailer or something. Maybe it was just a surefire way to attract Tatum's fans to the film and only give people just a couple brief moments of cliche Channing Tatum antics. I mean, he's essentially a gimmick character, at least in this film. I don't know, maybe if they do sequels, hopefully they'll bring him back for longer than, I don't know, 20% of it. Now, as for the movie itself, while it does try to be really fun, it also tends to go way over the top. Now, the film is almost 2.5 hours long. Many of the scenes that were in this movie felt kind of like blooper reels that were just left in, and they probably would have been better left for, you know, the deleted scenes on a Blu-ray DVD. And when I talk about things being over the top, a lot of the stunts look so unbelievable that they practically begged for an eye roll instead of a jaw drop. And this isn't limited to just the stunts either. Even some of the explanations that are given for certain characters in certain situations kind of push the BS-o-meter just a tad bit too. That's all done, let's get to the reason.
The reason.
Now, if you're a fan of the previous Kingsman film, like I was, then I think it's kind of fair to say that the sequel doesn't really measure up. Kingsman 2 took a lot of good things from the previous movie and tried to push the envelope just a little bit more. It's kind of funny because you can kind of tell that this movie just stopped taking itself seriously. If I had to describe Kingsman: The Golden Circle, I'd probably say it's a mix of like the Fast and Furious franchise parts 5 through 8, and almost any James Bond movie. Sadly, if you've realized just how ridiculous the Fast and Furious franchise has become, then you'll have a pretty good sense of the direction that Kingsman is apparently taking. So when it comes to the rating of Kingsman: The Golden Circle, I've got to give it an 8 out of 10. Now, despite everything, Kingsman was still a very fun and entertaining movie to watch. I think it's absolutely worth seeing in theaters. Now, just so you know, if you haven't already, be sure to watch the first Kingsman movie before you watch Kingsman 2. The movies are really tightly connected, so it really doesn't make sense for you to walk in cold to watch Kingsman: Golden Circle. Otherwise, you'll just be lost for 45% of the movie because you just really won't know who they're talking about or what they're talking about, and you're just not gonna appreciate the movie to its fullest. All right, that's all I got for today. Thank you very much for joining me. If you have seen Kingsman 2, what did you think about it? Do you think that it was better than the first one, or do you like the first movie better? Let me know your thoughts about Kingsman: The Golden Circle down below in the comments. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like my page and subscribe to my channel. If you enjoyed this review, please don't forget to like, comment, and share it with your friends. If you want to stay connected with me, you can join the 33,000 fans on my Facebook fan page. Now, I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until then, I'll see you later.